sitting here on this beautiful day with Lasty. He's our guide at Atzaró Okavango. Welcome, Lasty. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself, Greg?
Yeah, good. Hopefully we haven't tired you out over the last 4 days.
No. You know, I had a beautiful, amazing time with you. You know, you get to experience that, you know, when you're getting fun, the days just get to fly. It's not like you were here like 2 days back, you know.
I know. I was saying it's like these trips are so crazy because it feels like I've been here for 3 weeks, but it also feels like we've been here for 4 days, and it feels like I've been here for 3 weeks, but at the same time it feels like the trip's gone so fast, which is wild. I mean, we see so much in the day.
Yeah, true that. You know, like I say, you know, when you enjoy, the days just flies, but also the connection, you know, being together, enjoying the nature and having that love and passion for nature. You know, it felt like since we have known each other like some years back, but just 4 nights back.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you connect on this sort of level, like you connect on such a deeper level, like you really get to see someone's soul and spirit, I think, when you see them in nature.
Yeah, that's truth. Because like you take, for instance, myself being a guide here, it's not something that like maybe I do it for money.
Yeah.
You look where I come from, you know, growing up from a village which is situated into a national park, growing up as a young boy, you know, you start to learn about tracks of the animals, then you eventually start to learn animal behavior. So I would say basically going to the institution to learn guiding was to get licensed and certified, but originally I was a guide from a young age.
That is crazy. What is your village called?
It's called Puduhudu, which means Steenbok.
Steenbok.
It's next to Makadikadi, or it's in the Ngaipen Makadikadi National Park.
Yeah. And you were saying on safari that animals are able to like move from there all the way to here. Like there's nice migration routes now open for the animals.
Yeah, true that. You know, as we know that the zebras and the wildebeests, they originally have been migratory animals. So yes, we're starting to see the routes opening up for the migration from Makadikadi Pans into the Delta and then up going through the Chobe area, where the new route have just been established, whereby they get into the Eastern Africa to join up with the migration, which happened in Kenya, Tanzania. So
the thing that's blown my mind about the Okavango Delta and Botswana in general, because it's not just unique to the Okavango, is how people and villages are amongst the wildlife. Like there's no walls, there's no fences, there's no gates.
Yeah.
Like the animals, I mean, a lion could be on your stoop.
True that. You know, like I said, you know, it's more like we have learned to live with these animals even before the tourism or photographic tourism have started on. Because growing up in a village where you find to get that the animals were everywhere like me, obviously you get to learn on yourself the animal behavior. And then with that, you get to live in harmony peacefully with animals. Immediately, you start to learn how important that is. Like you see into Botswana, how we appreciate this wildlife and environment as a whole.
Do you would you say it's two sides, like animals learn to live with humans and humans learn to live with animals, and because it's just been here for so long, there's like a mutual, I can't believe that you chase lions away. Like if you see them and you can shout at them and they listen to you.
And they listen,
Have you ever had any like strange encounters or funny encounters or like scary encounters?
True that, you know, I still remember when I was a young boy, you know, going out there herding cattle and horses. At some point, you know, as I was looking for our horses, I came around. By then it means the lion was downwind and the horses were on upwind. And I was coming downwind on the other side of the lion, coming because our horses, they heard the bell, but that when they're out on the field, when you go around, you could hear the bell ringing out, ting, ting, ting. So I followed the bell. And fortunately, I was down the wind and I was coming. As I approached, I saw this lion coming, like crouching to the horses.
So he was ready to attack?
Yeah. So I came and shouted behind it, and it ran away. But I'm telling you, I was very young, around 13, 14 years old, as a young boy.
Were you scared?
I managed to chase off the lions. I wasn't scared by then. So because I saw lions before, so to me it wasn't anything much to worry about. I couldn't even think about how dangerous they were. I had to chase them away, get our horses back home, of which you could see if a young boy is capable to chase the lion away and the lion can listen to him, it means we have got mutual understanding, me and as the villagers and the animals.
So when we were on our drive, we actually had quite an interesting moment where we were amongst a herd of elephants, and they were actually all around us. We didn't realize how many there were, and the moms sort of started charging towards us, and then, funny enough, a baby sort of started also charging towards us. It came out of nowhere. It was actually it was very cute.
Yeah.
But do you know what I loved is that moment didn't feel stressful for me because I felt like you had it under control.
Yes.
What was going through your mind in that moment? Because I've been in moments like that before, and the guy didn't have it under control or didn't understand what's going on, and and that's translated to all the people in the car. So how explain that moment to me in your own words, and how did you handle it so well?
Immediately it happened. The very important thing when you're out there in the environment or into the wilderness with animals, you need to be good to read the animal behavior. Because if you look at the distance I was with those elephants, and then you look at how I interpreted their behavior, that helped me to get away into the situation before the situation can either be worse. Yeah. That is why I was chilled, because I knew what I was doing was so safe. Yeah. We were in a safe distance. That is why I wasn't, freaked out or either being scared. That is why the situation was under control. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite incredible to see. Tell me, how do you describe the Okavango Delta to someone? Or how do you describe Botswana to someone? In your own, I don't want to hear I want to hear to you, how do you describe this all?
To me, you know what, I will say, as Botswana, we are a blessed country to have Okavango Delta, as I call it, a paradise. I call it paradise because, whoever comes to Okavango Delta, including myself being in the Okavango Delta, you'll never go out without a smile. You'll either go out with tears of joy, because you get to appreciate how you get connected to the nature and the animals. And that's when you start to really appreciate how important nature is, as you start to learn nature is interlinked and interreacted. So that's what is very, very special, and that's how I can explain Okavango Delta in my own words.
It's crazy. I sort of said what you said. I explained what I felt.
Yeah.
And I felt I felt blessed for being here. I feel like this area is blessed by God. It's what you said, paradise.
Yeah.
And it's Eden. And
true that.
And I don't know, you mentioned you're Christian, but Eden was a place where humans and animals and God walked in paradise together.
They lived together in harmony. You see now, we all go by the same word. Yeah.
And I feel like you get a piece of that here.
Yeah, true that. That is why all the time we go out, I'm always excited. Whatever comes out, it's always exciting because, it's original. It's very authentic. It's not something that we do just to have money or just to waste our time.
I thought you were going to
jump. That's how special it is.
I thought you were going to jump out the car and do a dance when you saw the odd fucked up.
Oh, I was so happy. I'm telling you, I don't want to lie. You saw how I was so happy.
It's such a hard animal to see, and he was so chilled as well.
Yeah, it was so chilled, and it's very hard to see. What really made me happy was you remember I was looking at the clock and I was like, okay, it's already 5 to 10, and there's a possibility that around 10 o'clock or 5 to 10, now, there's a possibility to to see an aardvark if we get the chance. So please open your eyes, look onto the side, and suddenly by the corner we shine the light. There he comes.
No lies.
That
It was a period
so
of about 2
special.
minutes.
Yeah.
So it was very lastly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna just touch on, because obviously it's very important for me. Like, so I've got a safari magazine. I want to give people the best experiences, but I want to have experiences that grow, that is good for the area and good for the people and good for nature.
Yeah.
How does Atzaró Okavango support the community that we visited the other day? Can you just go into the fact that all the guides here are from Botswana, and just say how I mean, you will know the stories better than me. So just how have you seen them support responsible tourism and ecotourism, and are they leaving the area better than what they found it?
Yeah, I'll say we are doing an eco-friendly safari, because when you look at the apartment or the property, Atzaró property, it is made using the natural resources that if we are to dismantle Atzaró here, I'm telling you, you come here within a month, the nature or the area will have recovered, because we are not using concrete, which might affect the ecosystem, stop any vegetation to grow. You use the poles, we're using just the canvas, which is easy to dismantle, and within a month, the area will have sprouted and rejuvenated. In terms of Atzaró supporting the community here, I'll say the community and the country as a whole has been blessed to have Atzaró here in the Okavango Delta, because you look at the stuff around here, I will say almost like 90% of the staff will be from the community village, which is very close, which is called Iditsiping. And then the Atzaró is supporting that community as well by giving them extra work, because, you have seen it when we go to the Mokoro, the local guides were the ones which were doing the canoe.
Yeah.
So that's what the Atzaró apartment support the community here. And you remember I showed you that well, which was actually done by Atzaró to make sure that the community within here, they can have a clean and safe water. Because before that, the community used to walk down to the river. And as they walk down to the river, they would encounter animals like buffalo. A buffalo is one of the animals that can be very dangerous on foot. Yes, we have learned to live with animals, but still, there are still those animals that we know that even when we meet it on foot, there's 50-50 chances of survival. Yeah. Animals like a buffalo.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
So
and people wouldn't expect that. I think the average person thinks the buffalo is the least one to be scared of.
True that. So some of the people have lost their lives as they come down to the river to fetch water. So it was a blessing to have Atzaró here, because they ended up, drilling a well to supply water to the communities. Not just water, the water that is purified and safe for drinking, which is one of the things which I really appreciate about the Atzaró company.
I didn't realize that people had lost their lives getting water, like just gathering water from buffalo. That's quite sure. It's crazy how when you look from different perspective. I mean, when they spoke about it and that Atzaró did it, I was just thinking like it was maybe for sickness, or like maybe the water would be more purified, would just make things. I didn't realize that it's actually something that actually like saves lives, and how important. And to be honest, it's just the pump. Like we take for granted all these things at home, like fresh water, and you to see what a little bit, how much it can transform lives, just to give people fresh and accessible water. And yeah, it's great to see that it's. I mean, even the potential vegetable garden that they're going to grow, where they can start selling to the lodges and businesses.
That's a good initiative, which is going to actually bring a diversified economy into the community, growing out The diversified economy, which is going to start from the village, going out into supporting the whole country as a whole. So I really appreciate this property of Atzaró being here, because it's going to play a major role in change of the lives around here, into the community, also into the country as a whole.
Just to sort of wrap up, I've really seen that the people of Botswana are the guardians of this place.
Yeah.
And they have been for a long time. And even though lodges come in, I see that the people are the people that sustain this, that they've chosen to look after nature.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few places left in the world where you don't have to expand area. It's just always been here because you've always looked after it. And like you've said, you were a guide before you were technically a guide. And pretty much everyone that lives here is a guide. They all understand nature. They all respect nature.
True that.
Like even when you go to the village was so beautiful. It was neat. It looked like it had been the whole place had been raked. It's like the houses were built with such beautiful architecture, and like the grass around was just perfect. The beautiful green trees on the white sands, and you can see it's very evident that the Botswanan people are the guardians of nature.
True that. Yeah, the government is also doing a good thing, a major impact of making sure that they try to connect the people that live within the environment where there are animals by giving them a hand to look after those animals, because with that you get to have that sense of ownership. They really feel that these are animals, we need to take care of them. That's what helps. Yeah.
So guys, obviously, Lasty, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Craig.
And,
it was great
if you guys are ever on safari, make sure it's Botswana, make sure it's Atzaró. And if you want good pictures and a good experience, make sure it's us, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was great, Craig, meeting you.
You too.
Looking forward. Yeah.
Thank you.